Look, Zach. That seat is beckoning us. Listen to the two ends and drink dry the fire water. Do this, and you will see the other world. Hungen's oracle pointed us to this bar, so we must have to do something here. But I feel like the fire water part is missing something. Zach, do you see that? It's a gigantic go sign. I think someone's trying to send us a very powerful message here. That settles it. This must be a singularity. Beautiful lipstick. The color red suits you.
Thank you. Red is the color of life. No human who knows the joy of life would ever hate this color. Or would they?
Maybe. Maybe not. But I know of a drug with a red color that certainly doesn't signify life. It sometimes even steals the lives of those who drown themselves in it. Catch my drift?
Before a candle's flame burns out, it burns brighter than ever before, blazing like a shining red star. Don't you think that instant is more valuable than a century of smoldering?
That blaze doesn't cast out the darkness. It only emphasizes it. But where are my manners? I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Let me get straight to the point. You were present when Lise Clarkson was murdered. And you were also involved with Galena Clarkson's death. Correct?
Agent Morgan, are you a man who can hold his liquor?
I'd love some firewater.
We're similar, you and I.
Really? I don't see the resemblance.
Well, you should. Look deeper. Think about who you were when you were first born, and who you are now. Different selves exist inside your body.
Are you talking about Zach?
I was born as a man, but in my heart, I wasn't so. And this is a small town. I experienced far more scorn and discrimination than anyone could ever imagine. Especially from my father. Parents are supposed to raise their children with love. That's the norm, right? Not for me. I was raised by my father's flesh-seething hatred.
So you ran away from home, started making drugs, then seduced a young life and destroyed it? That story makes no sense to me. Think about it. They didn't burn you in a witch hunt, nor did they ever try to take your life. Yet here you are, letting your selfish fantasies drive you to torch the entire town with vengeful fire. Why did you abandon your inheritance only to end up in a place like this? What do you hope to achieve?
You've already figured out that much. Leonard doesn't exist anymore. He disappeared from me a long time ago. All that's left now is the Red Soul.
The Red Soul?
The Red Soul gives me strength and courage. And I vowed to use that strength to change this world. The Red Soul has the power to amplify the unique characteristics we all possess. Mentally and physically. That's why I created the Holy Red Powder. So that everyone can enjoy its divine benefits.
That's ridiculous.
Our world is home to scarier monsters than violence and prejudice.
Ugh. Zach.
Someday, even your best friend will abandon you.
No. Never.
And in the end, you'll be all alone.
Zach and I will always be together. Ugh.
I can't find Mommy either. Don't leave me alone. Please? Please, Daddy. Please, Daddy.
Oh, she got us, Zach. She spiked the drink with some sort of sleeping pill. No wonder they call her the Professor. Whew. But that was a rash move. Perhaps she realized that she's finally crossed the point of no return. Or... We need to head to the Clarksons at once before it's too late. We can still stop this. Zach, it's a singularity. The Oracle was right on the mark. The mouth to the other world is open, ready to swallow us alive. I think this case is finally starting to come together. Here we go again, Zach. You're as excited as I am, aren't you? You don't have to explain everything. No need for words right now. Not while this eccentric, provocative experience is begging us to come inside. Zack, do you feel it? Something happened here. It's the same feeling I got when we entered the place where Lise died. Professor R, Lena, came in here alone. It looks like nothing but a suicide attempt to me. Did she have some trick up her sleeve? That face, Zack. She looks so calm and collected. Perhaps she intended to take her own life after she murdered Philip, but that wouldn't solve anything. We know how calculating she is. Surely she must have understood that.
Now you decide to come back, huh? What for? I know you've been hiding from me, planning God knows what. Too bad it ain't gonna amount to anything. It don't matter what you do. The Clarkson family is already on its last legs. After only a single century, we're on the verge of losing all that power our ancestors built up for us. Ever since the day you left home, that was the beginning of the end.
They certainly look a little rough around the edges. Perhaps we should just call them the Clarkson gang. They're holding their weapons like total amateurs, which means they must not have had any formal training. Even if they came rushing in all at once, they'd still be no match for us. Maybe the Clarksons aren't as fearsome as the rumors make them out to be. Or perhaps they've fallen into such a decline that they can't even manage their own allies any longer.
Yes, I abandoned my family. But that has nothing to do with the Clarksons' downfall. It's much more complicated than that.
Oh, I agree. It's a hell of a lot more complicated. Just look at these assholes. They're so goddamn stupid. They won't even shit unless I tell them to do it. And you know what? Back in the old days, that was A-okay. Don't like someone, beat the piss out of them. Need something? Steal it from the sucker next door. Life was so much simpler back then. And time flowed in proper accordance with human behavior. But now... it's all so complicated now. Everything's changed.
Philip J. Clarkson, the horrible father that Professor R spoke of. Of course, he looks perfectly calm. It's hard to believe that it's only my second time seeing him. He's an overwhelming man, Zach.
The legacy of the Clarksons is like a candle in the wind, a sad vestige of what it used to be. But it's not completely dead yet.
So what? You came here to snuff it out yourself?
Oh, no. I didn't come to snuff anything out. I came to make it burn red once more.
What in hell is with you? Did that red powder finally make you lose your mind?
Zach, that's a miniature bomb. Lena must have set it here. Is this her trump card? It looks pretty elaborate. Another accolade for the professor. She also displayed expert precision when she used that fire to make my cocktail. Her wisdom gave birth to Sang Rouge. She must also have an advanced understanding of chemistry. I just hope she hasn't laid any other traps for us up ahead.
Just like you said, times have changed. You've gotten old. Your power is waning. But I'm not going to let things end here. After you and all the old tumors die, the goddess will take control of Lucare, and all of Louisiana for that matter. The goddess of fertility, with all her newfound might.
And who's that supposed to be? You? Ha! That's a good one. You know, you're just as dumb as everyone else. You never see things for how they really are. Oh, no. Here, go on. Take my life. You can have it. Do whatever you want with me. But don't you forget, that's Clarkson blood you got running through those veins. Oh, you took the long way to it. But it looks like you be inheriting our legacy after all. Just like I always wanted you to.
Oh, I won't be inheriting anything.
What?
I'm not the goddess of fertility either.
Well, then...
But I'm still powerful.
Professor R fought hard in this hall, and the last gunshot we heard sounded ominous, Zach. Everything she says seems to hint at some deeper meaning. The goddess of fertility taking over all of Louisiana with her newfound power? The details elude me, but she's clearly plotting something big. But if she dies here, she'll never be able to complete it. Why risk it then? Oh well. Let's continue on, Zach. I'm sure we'll find the answer once we reach the inner sanctum. Now this is a surprise. Zach,
You're surprised. This is my house. And I can set foot wherever I please within my own house. Or is that against the law now, too, FBI?
where's Professor R? I know she came here.
100 years ago, my father, Isaac Clarkson, came to this town and subjugated its people with his might. In time, he created an empire that put the entire southwest region of Louisiana right in the palm of his hand. Whenever any of his kin betrayed him, he'd cut 'em limb from limb and make an example of 'em. The shadows need a way of keeping the balance too, you see. That's why the severed roots exist. Sometimes they chop a fella's ears off, or maybe scoop his eyes out. Then they chop off all the limbs. Either way, they all ended up looking the same in the end. No different from mixing up the ingredients in your food. But this is sick. Why would any soul ever need to line up the stumps all neat like this? What's happening in Lucari right now ain't right. It ain't nothing like what we got up to back in my day. You know, it kinda feels like what you call pure evil. I'll be real honest here. Right now, I'm afraid. The evil that's taking this era by the balls is trying to gobble up Lucare too. Francis York Morgan, you FBI son of a bitch. Just what in hell did you come to this town for?
Well, I hate to rain on your sensational parade of a monologue, but my answer is simple. I came here chasing a drug called Sang Rouge that's been steadily permeating the southern states, and I plan to arrest all the perpetrators involved in the name of justice.
Oh, you sure sound like a devil, all right.
So be it. You're free to interpret my words any way you like.
Well, interpret this. You've come here to bring death and destruction to our town, or my name isn't P.J. Clarkson. You leave a mountain of corpses in your wake. So go on and suffer in the name of justice or whatever you want to call it.
Zach, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to prove that we fight on the side of justice. But why was Philip here in the first place? I thought we were inside her mind. No need to answer, Zach. The only reason this world's so fun is because of all the mysteries it holds.
Snap!